let's do a lightning round. Quick questions, quick answers on some of the specific issues that you would face if you become Speaker. President Obama announced on Friday that he will not sign another short-term spending bill when the continuing resolution runs out in December. Would you be willing to risk a shutdown to defund Planned Parenthood?
Well, look, we're going to have that discussion internally. My job is to help put a bill on the president's desk. The president's solution is to just borrow more money from China. That's not a solution. I want to solve this problem. So unless we're actually solving the problem, I have a hard time putting anything over there onto the president's desk that doesn't also solve the problem. I want to solve the problem.
But respectfully, because you're maybe the next Speaker, how far are you willing to take the fight to defund Planned Parenthood?
The job as Speaker is to unite our party in the House, and where are we going to hold the line? From the whole political spectrum. That's what I want to do. And then we're going to go fight, and we're going to make that case to the American people.
What about budget caps under sequestration? Are you willing to lift the caps so that you would have more spending both on defense and some domestic spending?
I want to cut. Personally, I want to cut spending. Personally, I just don't believe that we can continue to add to the deficit. So I actually personally like the budget caps. I do believe we need more money for the military. We need more money for the VA. We got to take care of the people that are taking care of us. And I do want to fight cancer. It's killing 1,500 people a day. But that's, again, it's not my personal agenda. We're going to move forward. As the Speaker, you've got to take the will of our body, appreciate and respect the process, and then go fight for that.
The government will reach its debt limit on November 5th. What would you demand from the president and from the Democrats in order to vote to lift the debt limit? And are you willing to risk the possibility of default in that negotiation?
Our job in the House, we have 246 members. Our job in the House is to actually put forward a bill. I would like to see actually cut the deficit, not continue to add to the deficit. I don't want to borrow more money from China. I actually want to fight for those things that are going to solve the problem and not just keep punting it down the road.
But
when President Obama took off,
would you demand something in return for raising the debt limit?
Well, we're not just going to unilaterally raise the debt limit. I don't think that's a responsible thing for our country. The debt in this country when President Obama took office was $9 trillion. We're approaching $20 trillion. We're spending more than $600 million a day in interest on our national debt. We got to solve that problem, not just say, oh, let's just borrow more money from the Chinese. We're not going to do that.
So would it be fair to say that as Speaker, Congressman, you would be more confrontational than Boehner has been and than you believe that McCarthy would be?
Look, I'm going to be myself. I'm going to get that body behind us, and then I'm going to go fight. I'm going to make that case. And we want a Speaker who speaks. We need somebody who's out there, who is actually going out there and making the case to the American people, talking to the Senate about what we need to do, and going on the national television shows and winning that argument. We don't seem to win the argument, and that's a problem.
Just the suggestion that you would run for Speaker has brought out some criticism from conservatives. They note that you ran a hearing on Planned Parenthood this week. Take a look.
Your compensation in 2009 was $353,000. Is that correct?
I don't have the figures with me, but
Congratulations.
Critics say that you focused on the wrong thing, that you focused on Planned Parenthood's finances and not on the videos and the fact that they are trafficking in fetal body parts.
Well, we issued a subpoena. I issued a subpoena. We don't have all the videos yet. But I do think it's legitimate for a not-for-profit organization to question how they spend their money. Exorbitant salaries, first-class travel, charter airplanes. They're sending money overseas. These are not things that a not-for-profit needs. $127 million more in revenue than expenses, and they want more federal money? I think we can tackle it both on trafficking in fetal body parts, but also talking about the finances.
They also note that in June you stripped conservative Congressman Mark Meadows of his subcommittee chairmanship because he went against the House leadership in terms of giving trade authority, fast-track trade authority to President Obama. You took his subcommittee chairmanship away. Is that the kind of Speaker you would be? No, I think I learned from that lesson that you're not going to do things by cutting people off at the knees. I think I was a good leader in that I listened for an hour and 40 minutes with my committee and reconsidered that decision. We got to win the argument and make the case
not just knock people over the head if they don't do what we want to do. So as a lesson learned, I think I'm better for it. I think Mark's better for it, and we're certainly good friends on this day.
Finally, you're in an ugly situation. That's one way of putting it with the Secret Service. As chairman of the Oversight Committee, you held a hearing in March about the continued security lapses at the Secret Service. Here's a clip.
Don't let anybody get in that gate. And when they come to the gate and they've got a bomb and they say they have a bomb, believe them. Take them down. Take them down.
Now, an Inspector General's report has revealed that within days of that hearing, some 45 agency employees got a hold of your 2003 application to be a Secret Service agent, and someone leaked the fact that your application had been rejected. And Director Joe Clancy is now revising his original account to the Inspector General when he said back then that he didn't know people in the agency were looking at your file. Question: what action should be taken at the Secret Service, and should Director Clancy step down?
Well, the Secret Service is demonstrating why we started to investigate them and their shenanigans. I think the question is really for the Department of Justice. You had 45 Secret Service agents violate federal law, according to the Inspector General. What is the Attorney General doing? Why isn't there a special prosecutor over there? It's kind of scary. I fear that these people, if they do this to me, I'm sure it's probably not the first time. I'm a sitting member of Congress. Nobody should have to have that done, and it's a violation of federal law.
And do you still have confidence in Director Clancy?
I lose it every day. Again, this is why almost 2 years ago we started investigating the Secret Service. They've had a series of mishaps, and they're entrusted with guns near the president. And their most sensitive classified information. They've got a serious cultural problem.
Congressman Chaffetz, thank you. Thanks for coming in today.
Appreciate it.
And we'll follow the battle for speed.